Headland with a kickstand. Your mom is so fat. We called the border back to get some burgers from Wendy's and her skates went flat. I got stuck in her butt crack. They thought I was lost, but I was from out of G-strap. Never prepared a giant rock would get break. Cause that would blow me around the world in a day. She drove into the closet and she didn't have a baby. But because no one to look just like a Chevrolet. Hey guys, okay, so of course I had to insert some humor into this video. Now, I'm not fat shaming, as I have a tendency to make light of most subjects. That's my Gemini Mars and my Sagittarius Sun combo for you. But that was from The Far Side, Your Mama. So for my younger viewers, y'all might not have ever heard of that song, but check it out. It's a funny ass song. But anyway, I'm one of those unlucky people who can easily put on weight due to my Taurus South Node, which is representative of my thyroid disorder. So I have an underactive thyroid, which makes it very easy for me to put on weight. Now, my weight has gone up and down over the years. I've been very thin, and I've been significantly overweight at times, especially during a bad relationship or due to pregnancy. I try to stay on top of my weight through intermittent fasting. If you don't know what that is, Google it. And I've been IFing, that's short for intermittent fasting, since 2014. And I lost 30 pounds in the first year of doing it. So it definitely works. Now I went from a size 10 to my normal size of 4. And that was without exercise. Now over the past 2 years, I did put on some pounds due to my sedentary lifestyle. Like all I do is work. So I'm always sitting down at my laptop. And due to snacking. So I was doing some cheating. Like, you know, maybe at midnight I might have some chips or whatever because I'm working and I need something to kind of, you know, keep me going. But I've since put a stop to that. Now, the weight thing bothers me so much. So this video pertains to my life as well as a lot of my viewers that have problems with weight gain. So as some of you know, I recently got 2 fat-reducing cosmetic procedures. It's called cool sculpting. So I got it done on my chin and also my belly. So I'm looking forward to seeing the results. So yeah, some of us dislike our fat so much that we're willing to pay to get it removed. So I just wanted to start this off with my own personal story about my struggles with weight gain and weight loss and all that stuff. Because my moon is in Capricorn, it is easy for me to do the intermittent fasting because Capricorn is that sign that can delay instant gratification in exchange for bigger rewards later on down the line. Also, with my Capricorn moon, it's pretty easy for me to lose weight once I set my mind to it. So let's get into it. And also, as you can see, this says the astrology of fat, key natal chart indicators of corpulence and weight gain. So some of the indicators that I'm going to mention, I definitely have in my own chart. So you could look at your chart and see if you have some of these indicators if you're dealing with excess weight. All right. So for the slim and trim folks, before you judge fat, obese, and overweight people too harshly, keep in mind that their cosmic makeup makes them predisposed to carry excess weight, just as your cosmic makeup makes you predisposed to remain thin. The good thing is that we are in an age where it's easier to lose weight now more than ever. Even still, some of us are just destined to be fat, since variety is the spice of life, a la Gemini, the sign that represents the yin and the yang. So I just include this little meme here. If you're depressed about being fat, you should eat right and exercise. Then you could be depressed about being hungry. So that's just a little joke for those people who have struggled with losing weight. So here are some of the fat indicators in natal charts. So first we're going to talk about the signs. And I must state a disclaimer that this is about the potential. So just because I say that a sign is prone to put on weight does not mean that everybody of that sign is going to be overweight or have issues with weight. Because if you know anything about astrology, you'll know that everything is multi-layered. Everything has multiple meanings. So that's part of the struggle with astrology is you got to sift through all the meanings and figure out what fits the individual. So again, my disclaimer is just because I'm mentioning certain signs and planets and aspects does not mean that this is going to apply to everyone that has this hookup in their charts. Okay, so let's get started. So here are the signs that are prone to put on weight, or they're prone to just have bulk to them. So Taurus is the first sign. So with Taurus, you could be thick, stacked, have a cow-like frame, stocky, a linebacker frame is what I like to call it. Also brick wall, corn-fed frame. So some of these keywords are going to be kind of humorous because you know I like to insert humor. Next sign is Cancer. So Cancer, the keywords plump, fat, chubby, top heavy, big gut, beer belly, big breasts, soft, squishy, flabby, blubbery, teddy bear frame for men, big mama for women. Scorpio, thick, stacked, curvy, girth, brick house, hefty, heavy. These could be your BBWs, big, beautiful women. Strongest man type frame. So have you ever seen those strongest man competitions? Those guys are always big and bulky. Big yet solid. That's like the strongest man frame. Short and stubby, but compact. So as you can see, I'm not just limiting this to fat per se, but also people that just have bulk, people that have a lot of mass. Sagittarius. Sagittarius can produce someone that's fat all over or big and tall, or they could just be bottom heavy, just like having big ass, wide hips, big thighs. Also, this could be, you know, your fat and jolly type of people because Sagittarius, they like to remain jovial. Then we have Aquarius. Aquarius can produce that amorphous shape where it's really no definition to the shape. It can produce a broad looking body. Some people with strong Aquarius energy are built like refrigerators, top heavy, drastic changes in weight, but round, attractive face. I've seen a lot of overweight Aquarius people have very attractive faces. Some can be big and tall, big and sexy. And then lastly, we have Pisces. Pisces can be fat all over like Sagittarius, have that ever expanding waistline. These are the land wells. Pisces can also be soft, heavy, yet light on the feet. Like, have you ever noticed that, you know, some fat people are very light on their feet and they can dance and all that? So I see the Pisces type of fat person as like, they don't walk, they float. Like they, you know, they just move really fast to have all that weight on them. So those are the signs. As you can see, there's 6 signs that can produce weight gain or that can add a lot of bulk or mass to the body. Now we have the planets. So basically, to see the indicators of weight gain or fat indicators, it's very simple. So you just stick to, like I said, those 6 signs. And then for the planets, we have the moon. So the moon can deal with the body in general, the belly in particular, the upper body. So upper body fat, soft, flabby. Also, the moon can deal with water retention. And then we have Jupiter. Jupiter can produce fat all over or lower body fat, thick, weight gain, excess. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So Jupiter can even represent inflammation, especially when it's combined with Mars. So just to give you an example how Jupiter can impact the body. So Moon conjoined to Jupiter can produce a big belly, big breasts. Mars conjoined to Jupiter can produce a big head, big nose, perhaps a big dick. Mercury conjoined to Jupiter, big or fat arms or hands, big ears. And Jupiter conjoined to Uranus can produce those cankles, you know, those fat ankles. And then Neptune can produce fat all over, can produce land well-sized people. There's this saying with Pisces where either the person's going to be like a guppy, like very small, petite, and demure, or they could be a whale. So very large, extra large size, all that. So swelling also falls under Neptune as well. Now here are the houses. So the first house, that deals with the body itself. The 4th house, that's the belly, also the upper body. The 6th house, health, diet, abdomen area, and also integration, like integration in terms of nutrients into the system, but also integration into society, because people that are very obese or just very overweight, a lot of times, you know, they might have some issues with fitting into society or feeling like they fit in, especially like when they have to go on a flight or whatever. There's some people who are very overweight to the point, well, you know, these would be your obese people, where they actually have to buy 2 plane tickets because they're filling up more than 1 seat. The ninth house deals with expansion and excess. And then the 12th house deals with addiction and bondage, addiction like to food. Okay. Numerology. So the numerology corresponds to the planets that can contribute to weight. So that would be 3, 12, and 21. That vibrates to Jupiter. So if you have a birth number of 3, 12, or 21, or even a life path number of those numbers, I forgot to add in 30 in there. Let me just include 30. Well, 30 not in terms of degree, because you're not going to have anything at the 30th degree. But if you have a life path of 30 or a birth number of 30, you could be prone to put on weight. But again, this is not going to apply to everybody. Then we have 2, 11, 20, 29. These are variations of the number 2, so it corresponds to the moon. Also the number 24, the reason why I chose 24 is 24s can often lead very indulgent lifestyles, and they can often have their choice of whatever food they want. So 24s can be very spoiled, and that could cause them to just let themselves go and put on weight. Then we have the numbers of Neptune, which would be 7, 16, and 25. So that would be through birth number, life path number, or degrees. The same with 2, 11, 20, and 29. This could be birth number, life path number, or degrees in the chart. Now the aspects, this is where the potential for weight gain and, you know, the carrying excess fat come in. So if you got the sun or the moon conjoined to Jupiter or in challenging aspect with Jupiter, that can cause you to put on excess weight. So that could be sun square Jupiter, moon square Jupiter, sun quincunx Jupiter. And these aspects will show you how the person deals with this weight. For instance, the quincunx aspect can show that the person struggles with keeping weight off and that they're really not, you know, satisfied with themselves. So this could be the person that does the yo-yo dieting, or they could, you know, end up getting gastric bypass surgery to reduce their ability to take in a lot of food, all that type of stuff. Jupiter in aspect with the ascendant, so that could be Jupiter conjoined to the ascendant, squaring the ascendant, sesame square quincunx opposition. But Jupiter in the first house alone can cause someone to be overweight or even obese, but not always, because there's plenty of people that got Jupiter in the first house and they are as thin as a rail. Neptune being conjoined to the ascendant or in the first house. The sun or moon conjoined to Neptune. Ruler of the ascendant, so the planet that's ruling the sign on the ascendant being in aspect to Jupiter, so that could be through conjunction, square, quincunx, etc. Also, the ruler of the ascendant being in Sagittarius, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, one of the fat-producing signs. I forgot to mention Cancer. That's a big one. Moon in aspect to the ascendant. So especially if the moon is very close to the ascendant, that's how my situation is. So I have the moon very close to my ascendant, and I've always had a problem with putting on weight around my midsection, my belly in particular. So, and the older I get, the bigger my breasts get, which is very moon in the first house as well. Now, one of the fat-producing signs on the ascendant with ruler in another fat-producing sign. So this type of situation will definitely, well, I can't say definitely still, but there's a good chance that that person is going to have problems with weight. If they have, for instance, like Sagittarius rising and Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, is in Cancer, which is one of the fat-producing signs. Sagittarius or Pisces South Node, especially if it's conjoined to Jupiter or Neptune. The moon being in the first house, I already mentioned that with my situation, or the moon could be in the 6th house because that deals with diet, or the 9th house, diet and health, or the 9th house because the 9th house deals with expansion, excess growth. And also if the moon is in aspect with Jupiter or Neptune especially. Now, sometimes Sun could join to Venus, especially in a weight-producing sign like Aquarius or Cancer, can produce weight gain, excess weight. And this is mainly due to the tendency towards hyperindulgence and laziness that this conjunction can produce. So it goes kind of back to that number 24. The person may still retain a high degree of attractiveness despite the excess weight. Also, fat-producing intercepted signs in the first house, like Pisces intercepted in the first, can produce someone that has excess weight, or they could be straight up obese. Intercepted sign in the first with ruler of the sign in a fat-producing sign, such as Virgo intercepted with Mercury and Cancer. So Virgo is not one of those signs that's typically going to produce excess weight gain. But if you have the ruler of Virgo, Mercury, in a weight producing sign, then hell yeah. Here's an example of an obese client's fat indicators. So this person is an Aquarius rising with Pisces intercepted in the first house. Neptune, ruler of Pisces, is conjoined to her Sagittarius South node. Jupiter, co-ruler of Pisces, is squaring her sun. So that hookup right there is contributing to her obesity. So now we're going to get into some fat celebrities just to show you an example of what I'm talking about these fat indicators and how they show up in a person's chart who's dealing with excess weight or who's obese, what have you. First person, Aretha Franklin, rest in peace. Aretha Franklin was born on March 25th, 1942, so she has that 25 birth number, which can make her prone to put on excess weight. Her life path number is 26 and 8, and I noticed there to be a pattern with life path numbers being karmic for people who are overweight. So you'll see what I mean when I get to some of the other celebrities. So her life path number is 26, that breaks down to 8. 8 is a karmic number. So she has a Scorpio ascendant, which qualifies as one of the fat indicators. And then Pluto, ruler of her Scorpio ascendant, is at 3 degrees Leo in the 9th house. So that 3 is very much weight gainer degree because it vibrates to Jupiter, and Pluto's in the 9th house. Like I told you, the 9th house would be one of those houses that contribute to weight gain. And then she has Jupiter in quincunx to her ascendant. And her moon is in Cancer in the 9th house, ruling the 9th house. So she has Cancer on the 9th house cusp, and her moon is in Cancer in the 9th. And Aretha Franklin always had big breasts, and she's always tend to accumulate weight around her waistline. Next celebrity, Luciano Pavarotti. I think he's dead too. So his birthday is October 12th, 1935. That 12 breaks down to 3. So like I said, that 12 birth number is a key indicator of being fat or weight gain. Again, not everybody who's born on the 12th is going to be fat, but just know that the potential is there for a lot of folks born on the 12th. His life path number is 22, breaks down to 4. That's another karmic number, but that's more like fate. But it's still showing that, you know, this person might have issues with being in total control of their life, and the weight could be a big part of it. His Jupiter is squaring his ascendant, and he has his moon in the 9th house. He has a Leo ascendant with the sun being the ruler, and it's in square to his Cancer South node. So he definitely has some fat indicators in his chart. Roseanne Barr, she was born November 3rd, 1952. So she's another 3 birth number or variation of 3. Again, that is showing the potential for excess weight gain, obesity, all of that stuff. And the fact that she's a Scorpio makes it like that's like a double whammy. Life path number is 31 and 4. That's another heavily fated life path number. She has the Aquarius ascendant, which is another fat indicator if other factors apply. Now, the funny thing about Roseanne is I used to think that Roseanne was an Aquarius, but she's a Scorpio. But it makes sense because she's an Aquarius rising. So I definitely see the Aquarius in her all day. And she has that round, attractive Aquarius face like I talk about. Uranus in Cancer, ruler of the ascendant, being in the sixth house is one of those fat indicator houses, being in square to Neptune and Saturn. And before I go on, let me just say that I created my list of fat indicators and all that before I made my selection of celebrities. So it's not like I saw their charts first and was like, oh, okay, that's a fat. No, I know what the fat indicators are. And then I selected my sample of overweight or obese celebrities. And then I was basically able to say, oh, yeah, there it is. There's that fat indicator I'm talking about. There it is right there. So I just want to put that out there. She also has her sun opposing Jupiter in Taurus. Now, some of these celebrities have lost a lot of weight over the years, and Roseanne is one of them. So this opposition can definitely point to that, because the opposition could deal with where she is very dissatisfied with the weight gain, and also where her weight might go up and down, where she may not always be fat. So Jupiter is squaring her first house north node, and her north node's in Cancer. So that's another fat indicator. Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan's another one that, you know, her weight has gone up and down over the years. So I think as of late, she has lost a lot of weight. I think this is a recent picture of her to the right. Now, Chaka Khan was born March 23rd, 1953. Her life path number is 26 and 8. That's another karmic life path number, fated karma. That's what I'm talking about. So basically, having a life path of 8 or 4 is not easy. It can be very challenging. Now, the sun is at the 3rd degree of Aries. There's that 3 again. She has a Scorpio ascendant, which is another fat indicator sign. Her Mars, ruler of Scorpio, is conjoined to Venus in Taurus in the 6th house. So there's that Taurus, one of the fat indicator signs, and the 6th house, one of the fat indicator houses. And her Pluto, ruler of Scorpio, is in square to Jupiter. So both rulers of her ascendant are in a situation where, yes, can make her very prone to put on weight. And she has that Cancer moon in the 9th house, ruling the 9th house. So already we've had 3 celebrities that have their moon in the 9th house. 3 heavy celebrities, 3 overweight celebrities. So like I said, I didn't choose these celebrities before writing my notes. So when I was seeing the parallels, it was just really cool to see it. Luther Vandross. Now, I don't have his birth time, but he does have, I can still see some fat indicators in his chart. He's another one who was heavy, and then he lost all his weight. So he's a 20, born April 20th, 1951. So that 20 is one of the fat indicator birth numbers. His life path number is 22 and 4. Again, that's another fated life path number. So again, I didn't purposely set out to pick these celebrities. I just randomly was picking celebrities off the top of my head. So what's a real eye opener to me is seeing this this pattern with their life path numbers. So birth time unknown, like I said. Now his sun is in Taurus, one of the fat producing signs, in semi-square with his Pisces north node, sesqui square with his Virgo south node. So Pisces, another fat producing sign, sesqui square Virgo south node, that's dealing with his health. Jupiter is at the 29th degree of Pisces. It's opposing his Saturn in Virgo. So that right there can deal with where he's carrying a lot of excess weight, but then he ends up losing the weight because Saturn is a planet that will take weight off you. And his moon was conjoined to Neptune. Adele. Adele's another one. I think she lost a lot of weight over the years. And that's what I mean. Like nowadays, it's very, well, I'm not going to say it's very easy because losing weight is hard. But it's easier nowadays because now there's all these different options in terms of weight loss. So nowadays, you're going to see a lot of celebrities where, you know, they're not going to stay fat because now they got all these options on how to lose weight. So Adele, May 5th, 1988, she's a Taurus. So, you know, already she has that weight-producing sign. Life path is a 9. She has sun conjoined to Jupiter in Taurus. So that right there alone can put a lot of weight on someone. But her conjunction is opposed to Pluto. So she could end up losing a lot of weight, which I believe she did. I don't know if she had some lipo, because that could deal with she had some lipo or whatever, had some surgery in order to reduce the fat. I don't know if she had gastric bypass. Somebody could let me know about that. She has a Cancer ascendant, so she has one of those fat-producing ascendants. And her moon, ruler of Cancer, is in Sagittarius. That is a perfect recipe for being fat. It's in the 6th house, so one of those fat indicator houses, and the moon also rules her 2nd house, and that 2nd house could deal with, you know, her taste, her preferences, food. So yeah, she had it pretty bad. Barry White, but at least she was able to lose that weight. Barry White, he wasn't able to lose his weight. No, did he lose weight? No, I don't think so. I think he died heavy. So Barry White is another variation of 3 in terms of birth number. He's a 12, Virgo, born September 12th, 1944. Life path number 30, breaks down to 3. So he had a double whammy in terms of being prone to be fat. And as you can see, he was very, very heavy. So this combination, he really didn't have a chance in life. And his sun is conjoined to Jupiter. So again, he was just naturally set up to be big. He has a Capricorn ascendant, which typically doesn't produce heaviness, but Saturn, ruler of his ascendant, is in Cancer and in the 6th house. So again, you see these indicators. His moon at the 29th degree of Cancer, that 29 is another fat-producing degree if other factors apply. And then his moon conjoined to the Cancer North Node, opposing his ascendant and Capricorn South Node. So I would think that Barry White, he had some serious issues with being fat. Now, you know, you got some fat people that they could be fat and happy. And, you know, some people actually capitalize on their fatness, like Big Pun, Fat Joe, Biggie Smalls. Or, you know, you got some fat women that, you know, there's men that get off on seeing fat women eat. So they make money that way. But from what I see in Barry White's chart, you can tell that he was very, very uncomfortable being heavy like that. Next, we have Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah was born March 18th, 1970. Makes her a Pisces. So that Pisces sign is one of the weight-producing signs. Her life path number is a 29. 29 is one of the weight-producing numbers. She has a Taurus ascendant. That's one of the weight-producing signs. Her Venus, ruler of her ascendant, is in the 12th house. So that 12th house, again, it's like Pisces. Moon in the 4th, squaring her ascendant. And that right there deals with her big breasts. And she did get breast reduction surgery years ago. So her moon is in Leo in the 4th, and it's squaring Jupiter and Scorpio. That's the breast reduction right there, because Scorpio deals with surgery. Next, we have John Goodman. John Goodman was born June 20th, 1952. He's another one that really didn't have a chance in terms of being overweight, being fat. But he's another one, I believe, that, because I saw pictures of him recently, he's lost a significant amount of weight. But the fact that his birth number is 20 just makes him prone to put on weight, especially around his midsection. And, you know, if you watch Roseanne, he had that big-ass gut. But he was kind of small at the bottom. Like his legs and stuff weren't fat. His life path number is a 25, so he has a double whammy. So he had it pretty bad. His ascendant at the 29th degree of Leo. So he really didn't have any choice growing up but to be fat. But again, because we have so many options nowadays in terms of weight loss, John Goodman has been able to, you know, lose a significant amount of weight. But yeah, so look at these numbers right here, 20, 25, 29. He was just naturally set up to be big. His sun, ruler of his ascendant, is at the 29th degree of Gemini. So again, that it's like so prominent in his chart, especially in terms of being top heavy, having all that excess weight around his midsection. And his Mercury, co-ruler of the 1st house, is at 12 degrees Cancer, squaring Neptune. Like, he didn't have a chance. Like, and I'm pretty sure even with the weight loss that he's accomplished, he'll have to struggle all his life with you know, eating and, you know, just making sure that that weight stays off. And his Mercury is conjoined to Uranus in Cancer. So that could deal with an abnormally big belly, you could say. But I also feel like he's another one that had, you know, it was really hard for him to be overweight like that. Al Sharpton. So Al Sharpton is another one that lost a lot of weight. He don't even look right being that damn thin. He actually looked better being overweight to me. Like, I believe Al Sharpton was one of those people that really should have just was supposed to be fat all his life. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but he just looks very unhealthy right here, like he got AIDS or something. Maybe he do. I don't know. But he's another variation of 3. He's a 3, October 3rd, 1954. So although he's a Libra, and Libra's not typically the sign that puts on weight, he's a 3. And then he got other indicators in his chart. So his life path number is 23 and 5. That doesn't put on weight. But he has a Cancer ascendant, which can. And his moon, ruler of the ascendant, is in Sagittarius, just like how Adele had. And it's in the 6th house, like Adele's. And it also rules the 2nd house, like Adele's. And his moon is in quincunx to Jupiter. And his Pluto is in semi-square with his Cancer South Node. So I'm wondering if he had gastric bypass surgery. He probably did, because a lot of people that have that surgery end up kind of looking like this. Very, very strange looking, like very unfamiliar looking, because the weight loss is so drastic and it happens so quickly that, you know, I think it tends to not have such a good effect upon the person, especially their face or whatever. But some people, you know, they have gastric bypass and they look great. I had a coworker back in the day that had it done, but she still had those cankles. And then lastly, we have Kathy Bates. So Kathy Bates was born June 28th, 1948. Life path number 11 and 2. So she has a double whammy in that she's a Cancer and her life path number is 11 and 2. So that just naturally makes her prone to put on weight around her midsection, especially. So Sun in Cancer, weight producing sign, her Virgo ascendant, but she got Mercury, ruler of Virgo, in Cancer, and it's conjoined to Venus, and they're both at the Aries point, and both are retrograde. So I would think that she had a big problem, you know, exercising self-control when it came to her appetite. But I could be wrong, but I would think that's the case with that hookup. And then she had Jupiter and Sagittarius squaring her ascendant. So she's another one that really didn't have any chance in terms of, you know, coming up, carrying that excess weight and stuff. But I believe she lost a lot of weight too. Now, Moon in Pisces is squared by Jupiter. So that's another fat indicator. So that is my video on the astrology of fat. Let me know what you think. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments? And if you would like an in-depth reading, you can visit my website at ravina.com. Peace and many blessings. I might be going live early this morning, but I don't know. I might just wait till tomorrow. But, you know, just be on the lookout just in case I decide to do it. You know, I be winging it, so I can never tell you exactly what's going to happen. But anyway, hopefully you got some insight regarding this. And if anybody has any of these fat indicators in their charts and they're struggling with weight gain or weight loss, it would be great to hear your or read your comments or whatever. So I'll be back with more videos. Peace and many blessings.